Hey, what's up YouTube, and welcome to another Guild Ball match report. Today I've got the Navigators, Windfinder, Wander, Azimuth, Ebb, Fathom, and Horizon going into Thomas's Butchers, V-Boar, Princess, V-Ox, V-Gutter, Shank, and Lane. So today for the Navigators, we're playing a 2-2, which could flex into a 3-0, relying on the Azimuth crowd control, his plentiful knockdowns, keeping up the goal pressure, and then using that Windfinder dice math to really try and score the takeouts that I need to secure victory. So that is the plan for the Navigators. Could be 2-2, could be 3-0, and the plan is to play for 2-2 and maybe flex to 3-0 if the ball isn't being taken care of. Meanwhile, on the Butcher side, oddly, with their lineup, they are also going for a 2-2. One, they want to take advantage of Mr. Shank, his ability to reach, his ability to kick goals and do damage and dodge and do everything he needs to do. Also, those angry vets. V-Gutter with the high damage output, and V-Ox with his ability to kind of control things and beat people up as well. And finally, gonna rely on some lane jank here to try to score 1 or 2 goals. He's going 2-2 and maybe flexing into a 1-4 if necessary. So here we go, we're about to begin. Thomas is just elected to kick with Lane, which is a little unusual. Usually you see a Shank for the goal pressure in this case. And he's just gonna scoot that ball over the line. He's gonna re-roll his scatter and get a really nice little scatter here that's just gonna barely make it over that halfway line. So I really have to be careful here because I don't want to give the Butchers too many opportunities to go into us. Finally, I just want to say thanks to Thomas for the game. Sorry that we had to kind of end this a little bit early, and yeah, we're going to shake some of the rust off here, so let's go ahead and speed up the footage and zoom in a little bit here, starting with our influence allocation. I'm going to put a whole stack on Mr. Azimuth, because why not? I've got a little bit on Windfinder, I've got 2 on Ebb, and I believe I have like 3 or maybe 4 on Fathom for the goal there. And she's second one in. I'm going to go ahead and dodge up and do a quick jog with Horizon, who actually had allocated 1 this turn. He's going to kick it over to, I believe it's Windfinder, and just bank some momentum. Thomas is going to move Princess up. I'm going to move Wander up. Nothing really surprising there. Thomas is going to move up with V-Boar. Now this is very brave. He's going to move him there. He's going to want to take advantage of V-Boar's the Berserk that you can buy off of him. So not expecting much from V-Boar this turn. Meanwhile, I'm going to go, it looks like I go with Windfinder full speed ahead on Azimuth and pass him the ball. And here comes V-Ox on that side. And Mr. Ebb is just going to calmly jog around the corner there, toss out a Sprung a Leak, hitting both Vet-Ox and Vet-Boar, doing 2 damage and removing their armor. So that's going to be pretty nice to capitalize on a little bit later. And here comes Lane. So Lane is going to go in and he's going to buy, I think he just buys the Berserk from Vet-Boar, and he's charging Ebb. So he's gonna try to land some attacks on Ebb. I don't think he ends up doing a whole lot. I think he gets some damage and then some like momentous dodges, that sort of thing, and gets himself into cover there towards the end of that activation. But, you know, Thomas is racking up a fair amount of momentum at this point. So that is Lane's activation. And I've got full speed Azimuth, who's first going to pass the ball over to Fathom. And Fathom dodge towards that cover there, so you can see I'm going to be 1 inch within cover if I need to. And then he's going to go ahead and charge Vet-Boar. He's going to, on 10 dice re-rollable for 3-0, guess what? I net a whole, oh, he defensive stance, and I net a whole 4 successes. 4 successes after 10 dice with re-roll. That does end up actually knocking down V-Boar, and then I'm going to go ahead and spend the rest of my influence momentously knocking down the other players all on that side, and I think I do a little bit of damage to V-Boar at the same time. So Princess, Lane, Vet-Ox, and Vet-Boar all knocked down by Azimuth. So there you go. That's the Butcher on the team. Meanwhile, Vet-Gutter is going to get in there being fairly upset and just do a significant amount of hurt and some bleed on Azimuth there. So Azimuth is already going to be paying for that later. And right now it looks like this is my final activation, so why not? Let's go ahead and charge the knocked down Vet Ox. And I'm trying to end up within 1 inch of that terrain over there so I can heroic if I need to. But I end up scoring pretty nicely on this charge, getting a momentous double dodge at the end of my playbook and kicking in the goal. So Navigator's gonna go up 4-0, and I'm going to run the length to engage the knockdown Vet Boar. So here comes Thomas. He's gonna throw that ball in for final activation. He doesn't have enough to get a snapback. And so our buddy Andrew from Heroic Play is he's gonna come in, do a bit of coaching. That's what takes so long here. This opens up a whole discussion. Andrew trying to help Thomas shake off the rust by going through his options, and you can see that hand coming in pointing at stuff from my side of the pitch is actually Andrew telling him, oh no, that's still me. And then Andrew's gonna come in. You'll see Andrew and walk through. There's Andrew's hand. So Andrew's going to say, no, you're going to want to come over here. You're going to hide that ball because you don't want Octave to be able to take that ball from you and score again. So Andrew explains the whole set of circumstances, and we're going to follow that advice. Buy an attack, get a little bit of momentum and a little bit of damage off Fathom. Then where'd they go? Over to cover and just duck out for the end of the turn. And Thomas is going to be sitting pretty well. He's got the ball. He's got a momentum lead. So that's a nice place to be going into turn 2. I forget what Andrew plays here, but I play the Raw Enthusiasm card, which is going to put me back in coach on Azimuth, because Azimuth is in trouble right now. And I do something dumb. I give myself the goal influence for this turn, but I don't give myself the +1 on the Raw Enthusiasm card. And Andrew is going to get to go first. So he's putting a big stack of influence on Vet Gutter. Vibor, I think, gets 2. Shank gets a bunch because he's still got the ball, and he's just going to be... he plays this wisely. He wants to take his goal as late in the turn as humanly possible. All right, so with that, I put a whole bunch on Windfinder. I put a whole stack on Azimuth because even if he gets killed, which he will, he can come right back in. So here comes V-Gutter, here to finish off Mr. Azimuth, buys the Berserk from Boar, and basically shreds Mr. Azimuth, putting the Butchers on the board to 4. And I'm just going to bring Azimuth. He's slightly off screen. He's coming in behind my goalpost, basically. And it looks like I am going to go in with Windfinder. So Windfinder's going to jog right kind of towards the middle of the board there. And I'm trying to figure out, who do I want to put this I Spy on? I can put it on Vibor, but Vibor is already knocked down. But the extra dice would be nice. But I'm like, no, let's go for the ball. I'm gonna aim for Shank there and miss, because this is me rolling dice, guys. It's not gonna work. I'm then going to Legendary and pull a bunch of people in. So I'm gonna head towards Shank, and I'm gonna dodge Fathom towards Shank. I'm gonna dodge Ebb and the Bird and Horizon, basically in a little triangle around Poor Lane there, because that's our goal, is we're gonna victimize Poor Lane there. All right. Meanwhile, Vet Boar is going to decide to Legendary, and he is going to charge Ebb. And normally this is pretty terrifying because Vet Boar should be able to liquefy anybody he charges, but Ebb is only taking 2 damage per hit. That's the nice thing about Ebb. He's remarkably tanky. So Thomas is going to get a bunch of damage on Ebb. He's actually, with the 4 swings he gets, he's going to get him all the way down to 1 health. But that's enough for Ebb to survive, and he's going to spend his 3 influence kind of just beating on lane. He's going to sprung a leak on Vet Boar again, and Vet Gutter, and then he's just going to do some more damage to lane. All right, and here comes Vet Ox charging into Horizon and Wander, and so he's going to do basically just liquefy Horizon, because Horizon has the most victim stats, and he's basically just a mascot. So, and he's going to do Whirling Chains to pull Ebb in closer, and he's going to finish off Horizon, putting the Butchers up to 3. All right, so for me, it looks like, well, Thomas is still going. I think he's not still deciding if there's anything left to do at the end of the Ox's turn. All right, so we've got a lane still over there. I think all I did there was just attack with the bird, just gain a momentum. Lane's gonna go stand up and then just dodge out, which is super critical, because if he had not done that, Azimuth would have been charging at lane and basically would have gotten over towards Shank and been able to drop netted on Shank. That said, Azimuth is going to go back into lane. He's going to do a bunch of knockdown netted again, and put the rest of the team down. And then he's going to go into lane for the rest of his influence. And I'm going to spike a couple of times, which is enough to finish off lane. So we got a scrum going in the middle. It's unfortunate that Vibor did not get to finish off Ebb, but yeah, with Azimuth there, he's going to go ahead and take out lane, putting the Navigators up 6-3. And now it is Princess. Princess is going to walk over, take a bite out of Fathom, do a little damage there, get a little momentum, so that's not bad. Fathom's going to go. She only had 1 on her. Now here's the thing, if I had done this right, I would have had 2 on me. And I'm going to tackle the ball from Shank. Shank is just going to counter and tackle right back. Shank is now going to go, and Shank is going to buy an attack, I believe. Oh no, he's going to buy a Where'd They Go. He'll dodge out, and he'll take a couple of swings on Windfinder. He'll get a couple more dodges, and then he's gonna jog into goal scoring range and bang in a goal. So now Butcher's up 7-6. All right, so now the ball is gonna scatter. It's gonna be contested between Fathom and Princess, and guess what? Princess is gonna win, because what? Why couldn't we expect one of the best strikers in the game to get the ball over a dog? But anyway, and that will end the turn. I believe I'm going to get turn here this time, and I'm going to pass out the orange slices to heal people back up, which was pretty clutch because I had a bunch of people hurting pretty bad. And I believe I've got another. I'm just leaning heavy on Azimuth. Azimuth keeping this pitch under control is really important, but I do have a big old stack on Windfinder as well. So Azimuth is going to start and do Azimuth things. He's going to start knocking people down. He's dodging, and he wants to dodge into the middle of this scrum, right? He just wants to continue, and I actually get close enough to where I can get that netted off on Princess. So I knock Princess down. The ball scatters over to the side, and then Lane goes and picks up the ball. This is going to be crucial. It's one of the best moves of the game, actually, is to pick up the ball and just walk that way. Windfinder, meanwhile, is going to walk over to the knockdown Vet Boar and basically on a full clip just wrap and ice-fi and wrap and wrap and wrap. And we are going to take Vet Boar right off the pitch. So Vet Boar is off the pitch, and now the Navigators are up to 8 to the Butcher 7. This game is getting close to the end, though, because I have to go pick up my son, and we're running out of time. There's not a whole lot of takeouts left on the board for Thomas. And he keeps attacking Azimuth, which is super bad, because Azimuth is just going to counter and just knock people down and end their activations. Meanwhile, I think I've got the game here. I walk over with Fathom, take a swing on Lane, get the tackle double dodge. Think I have the ball, but no, I don't, because Lane has close control. I totally was not aware that he had close control, and I have to spend my second influence just tackling the ball. So what a shame. Could have ended the game there, but it's not going to happen, and we are basically out of time. Vet Ox goes in, tries to attack Azimuth again, gets knocked down, and then Ebb is going to go there and just leave Lane on a couple of health. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.